You are a sleep worker, you climb into a pod, your mind is put to sleep while your body is put to work. 8 hours later, you collect your check for the day. You never really cared what your employers did while you were out, until you wake up one day to a six-figure paycheck. The table in front of me clicks as I wrap my fingers across its surface. It's clean, pristine. Perfect. The walls of the room, sterile white, the chairs, a similar color, and yet, even with this being the main office of the manager, there's no use seen on any of the furniture. I've been working here 2 months, saw the ad on a hollow board outside my favorite pit fighting ring. A job where you get paid to sleep, who couldn't pass that up? It was so simple, come to work, clock in, get into a pod, get paid. Left me with my day to do what I actually wanted, Sims, BTL chips, whatever I wanted. Helped keep a lot of habits going. It was a good life. Today though, there had to be a mistake. The check I'd gotten amounted to what I should be making in a year. I looked around the room again, where was the manager? I almost shot out of my chair when the door clicked open. The manager was a large man, eating far more than the rest of us wanted to, or could even afford. When he sat, his seat sank. As he leaned over the desk, putting his elbows down on the table, a smile grew upon his face. "What can we help you with today, Mr. Monroe?" I couldn't help but pull at the color of my shirt a little. "Sir, it's nothing too important, it's just that I saw my check today, and there has to be some mistake." A hearty laugh came from the man. "Mr. Monroe, I have never in my life figured I'd be having a meeting with someone for paying them too much. What's brought this on?" I opened my mouth before closing it again. I couldn't figure out the words. This shouldn't be a problem. It wasn't a problem. So why was I making it one? Finally, I found the words, and forced them forward. "Sir, it's just simply too much. More than usual. Far more than any reason I can think of as to why I should be earning this much." I paused again, taking a breath. "Sir, what do you do when I'm sleeping? Why do you employ me?" The smile faded from the larger man's face. "Didn't anyone ever tell you not to look a gift horse in the mouth?" My gaze stayed locked on the man. With a sigh, he stood. "Come on then, no use hiding it, wouldn't want to lose a brain like yours." Alarm bells went off in my head. That wording, what was my brain being used for? Nonetheless, I stood, following the manager out the door, and onto the deck of a huge hallway. It had to be the length of a football field, and 20 feet tall, filled with pods. As the manager walked, he began to speak. "Do you keep up with the news, Mr. Monroe?" I shook my head. "A shame, it would have made this easier. Well, a few years back, we signed the new Geneva Conventions. War was inhumane, we decided, and no humans should have to fight it." He waved his hand. "Of course, it was just a play by the biggest robotics and weapons makers. More money can be spent on robotics than ever could be arming a human soldier. However, the face of war was changed, and now we march robots at each other." I nodded. "Right, we learned about that in school." The manager clapped his hands together, laughing. "I guess you do keep some knowledge in that drug-ridden brain of yours." I opened my mouth to protest, but he put a hand towards me. "Don't bother, we see your brain after all, it's not hard to mistake the signs of drugs. I do have a question though, do you know the biggest drawback of using robotics?" A moment passed, before the thought came forward. "Their brains, they don't have the flexibility and adaptability of a human brain." The manager simply smiled. Suddenly, it hit. "Wait, you've been using me. Making me a weapon." The manager cut me off by opening a display panel on a pod, showing the view of a spider tank, walking down a bomb-ridden city alley. All along the sides, human bodies could be seen. "You've been very useful in our recent invasion. I don't know if you know it or not, but you are a master tactician, Mr. Monroe." I had no words. Finally, I turned, walking towards the door. I was being used. A weapon of war. I couldn't take it, I wouldn't. "Before you leave, Mr. Monroe, know that was only the first check of your work. We do like to make sure the best brains we have are taken care of. That is your new daily pay." My feet stopped, they wouldn't move forward. With that kind of money I could own my favorite fighting pits, cars, women, anything. And if I walked out, well, how could I keep my habit? No one would hire me, a drugged-out bum who couldn't hardly show up on time. "Please get back to your pod, Mr. Monroe." I simply nodded, walking over to the same pod I'd been sleeping in for the past month. The manager smiled, closing it over me as I got in. "Sleep well, Mr. Monroe. Oh, and thank you for your service."